Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my November 2025 TBR. So, I have a lot of books next to me. I actually have 18 books, and none of them are short books. I mean, they're all pretty good sized books, and there are so many other books I'd like to get to. I'm just finding, and I don't think it's like end of the year kind of thing. I've seen a lot of great videos on people's, 10 before the end, or the end of the year, TBR, or the book tag that's gone around, and I have done in the past. This year I almost did the 10 before the end, but I'm just like, I have like 50 books I want to read before the end. And I have been reading a lot, but I don't want to pressure myself that I'm going to have to read all these books. So I didn't want to make a list that way. I almost didn't make this TBR because I was struggling with the fact that there are so many things I want to get to. And I really, I wish I could get to everything, but I know that's not going to happen. So even though I have 18 books, I'm just going to briefly talk about, again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they're here for different reasons. Stuff I want to start, some stuff I want to finish, or a series that I want to start and finish, and then there's a couple extra things I just like to get to, and we'll see how this goes. So the only book I have to read is Truly, Madly, Magically by Hazel Beck. This is the third book in the Witch Lore series that I am buddy reading with Berna at Burnish Bookish Adventures. We have liked this series, but not loved it. It's very much a, middle of the road kind of, I would say paranormal romance, urban fantasy kind of thing. So we're following this group of friends who have had things that happened to them in the past, and it's kind of repercussions of what happens in the first couple books. And this is the third book in the series, so I don't want to go into too much into it, but I really like the magic with these witches in this small little river town. I think it's in Missouri, and I don't love it, but again, I'm curious to see where it goes. This one is the one I know is the second chance romance, which is the one I'm worried about the most. Not because I don't like the characters, because I do, but I always have trouble with people who like second chance romances from high school, and now that, it's 10 or so years later, and, they're getting back there. Things are going to bring them together. Now, I don't think they want to get back together, but I think things are going to happen anyway. But I like the characters, so I'm curious to see what happens. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, but I am going to read that with her at the beginning of the month, so that'll be done. And we'll see how it goes. I'm just a little concerned. So I know that this year, A Book Olive is not doing nonfiction November, so there's nothing like official happening. But November to me has always been, reading nonfiction for many, many years now. So I decided to at least put a couple of really big, chunky nonfiction I'd like to get to. I'm not saying I'm going to get to both of these, but these are two of the high priority nonfiction on my shelf. I am going to do a shelf by shelf video with more nonfiction that are going to be shorter, that are going to come off my shelf. So that'll come sometime probably late November. If I can get it done, it'll depend on how that goes, because I haven't started that one because I'm in October mode, right now. So the books I'm going to do is to continue my presidential, what do I call it? I don't know. It's stuff to do with the presidency. And again, I'm way back at the beginning, and I am inserting books between certain presidents. So I am going to do Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. I've had this book on my shelf for like 3 or 4 years now, and I've been meaning to get to it. And I've stalled out on this project. So this is the one I want to get to. I have an audiobook already. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check, but it's like over 700. Yeah, it's like 720 pages. So, but I do want to get to this so I can continue to the next president that I need to get to. This project is one I've stalled out on, and I want to get farther into it. A book that I have started before, and it's been 4 or 5 years since I think it's 5 years since I started it, and I want to read this, but I know it's going to hurt me, so I'm hoping to get to it, because it's one of my books that have been on my cart of shame for, as I said, 4 or 5 years, and I just want to get to it. So I want to finish Red Comet But The Short Life and Blazing Art of Sylvia Plath by Heather Clark. So I only got like 100 and some pages in. Oh, I was at 190 pages. This one again is also very long. There's a lot of sources in the back, so that's like all the extra stuff. The actual book ends at 9:37. So it's a lot of pages, so that's why I'm not sure I'll get to both of them. But if I can pick up one of these, and yes, it'd be, you know, this would be a mammoth pretty much. And the other one is, you know, just short. They're both like a lot of pages. They're both, you know, 700 pages I need to get to. But I really want to read this. I do want to read her journals that I've started. I mean, I've read a collection many years ago, and I want to go back and read the full collection because I just haven't got to it. But I want to finish this first. So I'm hoping those are the two nonfiction I would like to try to get to. Again, as I said, I try all the time, and I'm going to see. We're going to see what happens. Anyway, so then I have a few, I think three books that finish series that I'd like to finish. And I don't think I'm going to get to them in October. So the first one is Secret Haven by Catherine Cowles. This is the 6th and final book in the Sparrow Falls romantic suspense series. I've really enjoyed this series overall. This is an author I discovered, or I started reading this year and this series, and I have really enjoyed it. Again, this is the last book in this series, and this one is also kind of a second chance, but it's different because of circumstances. So I think I'll like this one better. I love these characters that we've had throughout the family group that we've been following through this series. And I'm curious to see where the suspense part comes in. What's the mystery stuff and people have to deal with. So, and I know that there's a marriage of convenience in here, which was a secret trope that she just dropped on us like right before it was published. So anyway, I'm really excited for that. So I do want to get to that. I do want to finish the last of the Gold Rush Ranch series with A False Start. So I'm not sure. I know this is one of the main characters from the third book's sister and somebody else. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I just want to finish out this kind of cowboy romance series that I have been, as I said, I've picked up Elsie Silver this year as well. And so I do want to finish this series before I start the Gold Hill series, which again, that one just finished, but I haven't started that one yet because I'm reading this one. So I don't know much else, but this is the last book in that series. I'd like to finish that. And then a book that I've started, I just have to be in the right mood for this. And this is The Letter from the Lonesome Shore by Sylvie Catherall. So this is the second book in the Sunken Archive series. And I adored the first book. A Letter from the Lonesome Deep, Letter to the Lonesome Deep. I can't remember how it goes. But I loved the first book, and I reread it earlier this year before this book came out, and I still haven't got to this one. I did try to read this one time and got to 46 pages, and it was a day that my mind was just wandering, and I didn't retain anything. So I put it down, and I said, I'm going to come back to this when I am in a mood to really have a long time to sit with this and just maybe get a whole chunk of it done. So I'm hoping one of the weekends in November, I can just sit down and just, read this. And it's a really interesting fantasy world with characters who are responding to stuff that happened in the first book. The first book, 2 people have gone missing or presumed dead, and their siblings are, and it's all told in epistolary or journal entries or in news articles and things about what happened to them. So it's a fantasy with those elements. It was so good. The first book is so good. Like one of my favorite books I think it was last year. And this is it's a duology, so I just want to finish it off. So I do want to get to this. I just have to be in the right mindset for that. But I do want to put it on here because I want to get to this because I was so excited for this, and then I just haven't sat down and did that. So then I have a couple, let's see here. I have 4. I'm going to put these together. So I have 4 starts a series that I'd like to get to. I have more coming. Don't worry. I start more series than I finish, but I'm still finishing quite a few series this year. So that's why I had those 3. If I can get 3 of them finished, that'd be good. I do want to start the Lost Bride trilogy by Nora Roberts. Inheritance is the first book. The 3rd book comes out in hardback in November. So I have the second one already pre-ordered, the paperback. So if I get really into this and I love it, I will probably get on the hold list at the library for the 3rd book. But this one I think is historical, about some women. I think things like, I can't remember how it goes. It's like has 2 timelines. It has the past and the present, and again, it has to do. I think it has to do with, it's something on the house on the coast in Maine. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm going into this super blind. Nora Roberts with her paranormals. I'm pretty sure that's what this is a paranormal romance. So I kind of go into them fairly blind. So I want to start that series. We'll see if that happens. My mom says it's really good, and she doesn't always like the paranormal ones, but she really liked that one. And she was actually upset because she read that one, and then she read the second one, and then found out the 3rd one wasn't out yet. So that tells me I want to read it. Anyway, so I'm going to read that. I would like to start... Well, really, I did one day read some of God of Malice by Rena Kent a few months ago, and then bought the whole series. So I have this series on my shelf, and I have not read it. This is the first book in the legacy of God's dark romance series. So this is a series where I'm not sure how I'm going to respond to it, even though I bought all the books, but I wanted all those pretty sprayed edges, and I bought them months ago, so whatever. I know that it has to do with a woman who I think she's going to this school, and but I don't know if it's her parents are like, uber rich kind of thing, but I don't know if they're like actually criminals. Her family are like artists, and so she has issues with stuff with her artist. A friend of hers has just died, and so she's like traumatized by that, and someone comes and traumatizes her even more. And then she finds out he's at the school that she's going to go to, or this academy or whatever she's going to. So I'm just not sure. I'm pretty sure this is new adult and very, very dark. And that's about all I know, but I still want to read it, and we're going to see how that goes. And I bought so many of her books. As I said, I bought the series, and I bought a couple others. And I just have this feeling I'm going to love her, because I love the first few chapters, even though they're very dark. They're not for everybody. I'm going to say that right now. A lot of dubious consent kind of stuff, and but it was still captivating, so I'm hoping I'm gonna like it. So I do want to get to that. I really want to try the Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This is the first book in the Gods and Monsters series, and I just keep hearing about this. I really don't know what this is about, but I want to get to it. I hear she is morally gray, and I just want to see if I like it. So I don't know a lot about it. I think it's I'm guessing it's dark fantasy of some sort. I'm not quite sure what it's really about. I don't know. Anyway, I just keep hearing about it, and I want to read it. And then I also want to start this series, the Split or Swallow series by Lindsay Straub. And this is Kiss of the Basilisk. So I bought this a while ago, but I just talked to my one of the booksellers at Barnes and Noble, and she just had just finished it and she loved it. And so she's like, yeah, you have to read that one. So I guess I think this is a dark fantasy romance. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it has like snake shifters or something. I'm not sure. Actually, what as I said, I've bought a lot of books this year that I don't know what I bought. Like, I just do that sometimes where it just sounds really good. And then I have a continuation that I want to do, which is The Unwanted Marriage by Katharina Mora. So I think I have one other book, and then another book's coming out this month. This is the Windsor series. I think that's what it's called. And it's following the Windsor family, and their grandmother arranges their marriages. And they are all billionaires or whatever, and they do certain different kinds of businesses. And this one is one where the two knew about each other for many, many years. And they just never got together. I don't remember the circumstances. And I think they have to finally get to the marriage part. I think they've just known about each other for years and something like that. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Let's see, I'm moving stuff around here. And I really want to get to Strange Beasts by Susan J. Morris. This is a book I tried to read a couple of months ago when I first got it. And it was just like A Letter from the Lonesome Shore. I was just not in the right headspace for all the stuff in this. This is one of those historical fantasies where it has Moriarty's daughter and, who was the other one? She was Dracula's, Harker from Dracula, his daughter. And it has them, and they're going to Paris to investigate this weird killer, which sounds kind of maybe Jekyll and Hyde-ish. I'm not quite sure, actually. So I got about 22 pages in, so I do want to come back to this and restart it. Again, this is another one where I just need a spooky day at home where it's maybe cloudy or rainy, and I just focus on this, and I really do want to get to that. I've been wanting to read that for months, and I just haven't had a chance. And then I do want to start Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. So this is on my 25 and 25. This is a book that I've been putting off all year. I've been meaning to get back to it, and it's huge. Again, this is only half of it. My other half, coffee, is under there. So this is only half. It's over, I think it's like 12 or 1300 pages. But I do want to get back to this. And I hear this is like the best one of the series. So I definitely want to read this. I want to continue in the Cosmere, and I haven't made any time for real epic fantasy, but I wanted to read this, because there's a couple other epic fantasy series that I want to get into, but I feel like I need to make progress, at least in this one, and read this book. So my goal is to actually start this near the end of the month. I might not read the full thing in November. I'm really thinking about starting this around Thanksgiving and getting started with this and then finishing in December. But that is kind of a light goal, so we'll see if that actually happens. And then I'm not going to say much about these because I don't know which ones I'm going to pick. But I do have 5 books that are gifts that were given to me. Oops, as they're going to fall. And I do want to read them before the end of the year. So I am going to try to get to one or all of these. I might have another one. Actually, I think I'm missing one. But they were given to me by some people. Lynn has given me most of them, and then one of my subscribers, which was really kind of her, earlier near my birthday. And then one of them is from Lindsay Reed's from last year, which I meant to get to. So my goal is to try to get to 1 or 2 of those or 3 of those in November and try to get to the rest of them before the end of the year. But I don't know what I'm going to let those be kind of more mood reads and try to get them into into my reading. I have so many things. As I said, it's one of those times where right now I have like too many things out from Libby. My list was super long, and right now I'm trying to get through those, and then I want to just focus on books I own. And yeah, I might have to get some some audiobooks from Libby, but I think I want to be more selective and try to first prioritize the ones that I own the audiobooks for already, and then maybe then look at what I need to get from there. But I'm really trying not to get too many library books either. I don't think I know I have a manga or 2 that are supposed to come through, and maybe 1 or 2 books that I wasn't gonna buy, that I was gonna get from the library. So I think mostly I've been really good about keeping that number low. So I just have so many books to read, and I keep buying books. And but I want to read everything. So, and again, there's like 3 other series that I want to start that I have audiobooks for, or I have physical books of, that I want to get to. And then there's just so much I want to read. So I think that's it. And I'm not taking part in any readathons during November. November for me is going to be pretty quiet, in the way as I'm just going to kind of read what I want, for what I want kind of thing. So, but if you guys think any of these I definitely need to get to, that you think that I would really enjoy, let me know that. So then maybe I'll think about it more and I'll get to it quicker. You just never know. So anyway, that's it. Cooper and I will see you later. Bye.